how to move from the consumerist economy to becoming financially free as an individual, or rather, having a robust economy as a nation. If you look backward into the history of most African nations, they love good things, but they lack the capacity to produce it. In the last 500 years, we have our forefathers who love to consume goods from the Western nation, the Eastern nations. They want to acquire, and they want to do this by all means. When we were young, we were abusing those our progenitors, the ancestors, who were engaged in slave trades, because they sell their kids, their children, their neighbors to acquire these things. They go to war to capture slaves, to get mirrors, to get jeans, to get gunpowder and things like that. Now we are in the 21st century. If you look around you, the system hasn't changed. Only the people that have changed. Our forefathers are gone. We are now on the scene. The same lifestyle. We want to kill, sell our neighbors, kidnap others, engage in robbery, while the politicians also want to embezzle to acquire these beautiful things. Consumerist lifestyle. Others who were not in these nefarious activities, who are earning just income, are also in this rat race to belong. They earn income, they borrow money, they stretch their heart to buy all these things so that they too can belong. The allurement of vanity. Why I use the word allurement of vanity is whatever that takes away your joy, your rest, is not wealth. The essence of financial freedom is to give you rest. When we talk about financial freedom, we are talking about somebody who's earning income without struggling. If you are struggling to acquire things, you too, you are a member of the consumerist society. And you also, one way or the other, you are impinging and affecting the growth of your economy, because consumerists throw out their hard-earned money. Today, the game has to change because we are game changer members. Instead of wasting the fund that you have, begin to look for how to maximize your income, maximize your strength, maximize the resources around you to produce, to increase, to enhance. The advanced society use the resources around them to enhance their work. They take the iron ore, turn it into iron rod, turn them into cars. What are we doing with the irons around us? The sand by the seaside, the silica, and so on and so forth. The gold, the crude oil. What are we doing with those resources? Until you learn to enhance what you have, you keep struggling to acquire. Never waste what you have today, because what you have today is what will determine what you have tomorrow. If you learn to manage it, there's never too small or too little resources. It is what you do with what you have that determines the future. Looking closely, you will realize that Africa has one of the best arable lands. We have many resources, we have mineral resources around us. But what are we doing with those things? One of the debacles, the challenges we have is lack of willpower, strength to maximize, to utilize what we have. And it starts with the individual. I think we have entered a generation that has to create a departure from the lifestyle of our forefathers, because inability to break that flow is what is keeping us where we are today. Let's explain it this way. Look at the kind of food we eat in Africa. It has not really changed from how our forefathers were cooking 1,000 years ago. Just talking about our food. Aside the importation of Western structure and so on and so forth, our own technology has not really moved very far. The TV, the radio, the television, most of these are imported technology. And because we have this problem, we cannot learn to delay gratification. And this is the new blueprint that will help you and myself to move the society, the economy upward. Individual must get to that point. I'm also working on myself, whereby before I acquire anything, I must ensure that I do this out of productive uh, exercise. For instance, if you want a car of 1 million naira or 10 million or 100 million naira, none of them is bad. But you should be able to create a financial stream that can meet up with purchasing those things without struggling, without breaking banks, without killing or affecting your neighbor in a negative way. Without embezzling, without kidnapping, without robbery, and without stressing your children. Because some of you will not steal money, but to get that car, you will stress the finances of your family. So when we make up our minds to become very productive, we realize that we can acquire as many earthly goods and toys as much as we want, but then it won't be out of struggle. So it's high time as a nation, if we want good phone, good television, and so on and so forth, it should be out of abundance, not out of strugglings. Because if we continue this way and the deficit continues, whereby what we export is lower than what we import, I'm talking about the nation generally, we will continue to be under financial obligation to outward world. And in so doing, the finances of the government, of the nation will be stressed, and it will affect individual. The truth remains, the individual makes up the nation. If each of us will change our culture, we are able to delay gratification, to create financial freedom for ourselves, to challenge our minds, to improve on our goods, to sell superior products into our world, we will get to a point we become financially free. Although there's no nation that is in isolation, but we will have enough goods to sell to other nations to get what they have, creating a kind of trade balance. And I hope we too can begin the march towards that. And it starts with you. Look around you, look into your house. Most of the things you are using, don't you believe that you can start a movement, a production, certain goods that may not be imported again? One thing about life is excellence can be noted. By the time you produce a very quality shoe, there may not be a need to import from other parts of the world. By the time you produce a quality television, fan, some of you might be thinking you cannot. If you're able to build the structure, the fund will come for an advancing man. everything advances. Cease from being a consumerist person. Become productive, add value to your world, and become financially free. Thank you. My name is Wale Adewumi.